Hello, my beautiful guys and dolls, and welcome to an episode of Before the Curtain. I'm your host, Abby Campbell, and we are here to discover the passion behind the performance. Artists of all backgrounds will share their stories about what it takes to create, survive, and thrive in the competitive world of entertainment. Finding inspiration in their journeys, we aim to bring you everything that happens before the curtain. Originally from the great state of Minnesota, our guest today is a dancer and choreographer. He's performed with Royal Caribbean Cruises and appeared on Fox Channel, So You Think You Can Dance. Currently with roots in Las Vegas, he is a Cirque du Soleil artist, having performed in both Mystere and Mad Apple. He has served as dance captain and artistic advisor for Mad Apple since the show's creation. He is an active dance teacher and inspiration to the community. My guys and dolls, please help me welcome to the mic the beautifully authentic Tyrese Parker.
Oh, that was really, really, really nice. Also, hey. Hey, everyone. Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Not that we haven't been talking for like 20 to 30 minutes already, but really, thank you for having me here. I really, 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 really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You and your kindness and your welcoming me to your home and everything too.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
You're incredible. I think the day that I met you, I was like, I love learning from him.
It had to have been like 2 years ago, I would think.
I think it was the Cirque audition.
I think it was too. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Wow. Whoa, that's crazy, actually, because we're about to do another one.
Really? Oh,
next
yeah.
week. Next week is like this year's iteration of it. We skipped last year, and then like my first couple years living here, that is where I met you. And then I got to work with you like that one time.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. But like, this is cool for us because we're getting to know each other more and more. Because like, like a rehearsal setting or class setting where you get to chit chat with someone and you can catch their vibe for sure, but you don't know them, which is exactly what we were talking about before. Like why this is so important to do is because you get to know people really, like who they are, their story, where they come from. And that shit matters, You can catch a vibe all you want, but knowing somebody for real, where they come from and why they are the way that they are is important.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I love.
So did Mad Apple bring you to Vegas?
Yeah, it did 3 years ago. Oh, that's so crazy to even think about. I've never lived anywhere this long.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up in Minnesota. I mean, like, obviously, like, growing up through school and up until graduating high school, I ended up like taking a gap year because I wasn't sure if college was for me and whatnot. Worked for Royal Caribbean, as you said. And that's like out at sea. And then you go back to your parents' place. I wasn't living outside of my parents financially. I wasn't there. I was only 18, 19, really. And then the pandemic was somewhere in the middle of that where I turned like 21. So I was still young. So Vegas is the first place that like adult Tyrese has lived by himself, moved out here, and I've lived here for 3 years, which is awesome. Even saying that out loud is a little strange. But yeah, Cirque is what got me out here. I wrapped up my last cruise ship contract at the very, very beginning of 2022, I think it was. An online submission because auditions were still on their way back, which for people like me who aren't from a hub of entertainment, it gave me opportunity to, put my face somewhere and maybe get an opportunity that I would not have in Luxembourg, Minnesota at my parents' basement. You know what I mean? So I submitted a video at the tail end of that cruise ship contract and it bounced back and they were like, "Hey, can you do an interview?" And I was like, yeah, for what? like the brief that a couple of us on board at the time, they got an email, like a couple of Vegas locals who just happened to be on that contract, and a big group of us were like, "Oh, let's all submit for it. We don't really have anything better to do. We couldn't really get off in port." So we all learned these like 2 combos together, and I sent it in minutes before the deadline because I was like, what am I gonna do in Las Vegas? Like, I again, at the time, I didn't really understand what Cirque was. I didn't know the capacity that dancers could fit into a circus setting. I thought of dancers in Las Vegas. The only thing I could like really pinpoint was like a J-Lo residency. So I didn't really know what was out here, let alone like people like yourselves in this beautiful community that we live in. I had no idea. So I submitted it kind of just like as a throwaway. Like I wasn't really banking on anything. And I was unaware that it was Cirque du Soleil. The project said that it was produced by Cirque. That doesn't mean it's necessarily like big name in lights kind of thing. I did not understand the degree of what the project was. So when I got on the interview and they were like, we would like to offer you position, or, you know, are you interested? And this is why we think you'd be a good fit. I was like blown away that this just miraculously happened and aligned. And they were like, can you get out here? And I said, yeah, yes, I can. And they were like, how fast? And I said, by this time, like, this is when I end. They were like, perfect, that works out. And I moved here, and that was that. I've been with Mad Apple for over 3 years now. Like, original cast of a Cirque creation. What? First time dance captain? Like, it was major. It was the biggest, like, stepping stone I think I had ever taken in my career. And then, like, being with Cirque for a couple of years and learning how that stuff works and what these big entertainment companies really do and the magic that they can create and how many avenues within that space you can navigate through is cool. It brought me to a different show. You know, I'm now a part of Mystère. I was a part of Mystère this entire summer, like full time, and now I bounce back and forth between the two, which is like a huge privilege. So yeah, my journey with Cirque and moving out to Las Vegas is, yeah, probably the biggest milestone step that I've taken in my career, which is really cool. I'm super grateful for it.
Was Dance Captain offered to you off the bat?
No, it was a couple weeks into rehearsal. Okay. I think they wanted to gauge the vibe.
Okay.
It was a really small cast of us. There was only 6. There's only 6 dancers in Mad Apple full time. So only 6 of us got brought into that creation process, and then they ended up auditioning for a few more just for like on calls and that kind of thing. But yeah, it was maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I couldn't really tell you. But like I said, just to like kind of catch the vibe of, I'm a really charismatic, warm person. And I think they felt that. I had experience coaching high school dance teams up in Minnesota as well. And I had been teaching since I was like 14. So I understood how to lead, for lack of a better term. I understood what's required of you on all ends of the spectrum, but most importantly to like be authentic and warm and patient. And I think that's like how that came about. But that was, I mean, first time dance captain, like where you really have to take the responsibility and cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and then some was a learning process. Like that first year of it was a learning trek every single day. It was tough, really tough. Not because of the dancers, but because big production, and it changes every day. It's a new production. They upstairs, people who are running the thing, don't even really know what's going on in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, because it's new. It's not like Mystère that's been around for 30 years and it's a well-oiled machine and you kind of just hop into it and then you do your part, and then you hop out of it. Mad Apple was like, it was a new thing that nobody really knew how it was going to run, and it's doing great now, which is awesome, but it takes a while to get there. So it was a big learning process for me to like come to terms with all that.
What was the most surprising thing you learned? During
creation? I think the most surprising thing I learned from creation up until now, even at Mad Apple, is that you do not have to perform at 150% energy to get across a good character and to be a good performer. You don't have to exude 200% of your battery. You don't. Not a professional, well-rounded, attentive artist does not have to do that every night. And that was a shock to me because I come from Minnesota where dance team and high energy is like really celebrated. It's a sport there. It's in line with like hockey. Like the boys play hockey, the girls do dance team, right? It's just as popular as one another. or at least that's what it feels like. And in that realm of dance, like the more energy, the more athleticism, the bigger tricks, the better. It does better on a score sheet. So kind of untraining my brain to think that way was tough. My body started hurting. 10 shows a week. And I was like, why? And they're like, well, Tyrese, you're flipping around the stage and you are all the time. It's going to wear and tear. And they were like, you have to find a balance. And it took me a long time because I battled, like, I didn't feel like I was doing enough if I didn't do the 540 over there, and I didn't do that tumbling pass, and I didn't do 8 pirouettes and nail it and then whip my hair. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like I was doing enough for some reason. And it took me a long time to, like, kind of break that down and find the real root of what made me special on stage and how to utilize that without exuding all my energy. I think that was the most shocking thing. And that helps now for the rest of my career. I just hadn't really learned that lesson. Because up until that point, even cruise ships, you have days in between your shows.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Depending on what venue you're in or what cruise line you're working for. The ones that I was on, we had almost a week in between show days sometimes. Sometimes it was back to back, maybe on a 3-day cruise. But for the most part, there were days in between. So you could go ape shit. Like,
yeah, because you had so much time to
recover. Here, you don't get that. You get 2 days off, and one of those days your body's like, why do you do this to me? You know what I mean? By the end of that work week, you're like, whoa. Even if you are the most well-kept person, I've seen the highest degree of acrobats, the people who their instrument is their body and they push it to the limit every single day. I have seen those people who are the most well taken care of, eat the right things, sleep the most, all the things, and they still deteriorate over time. It's inevitable. Las Vegas is a different ball game when it comes to stuff like that. It is a marathon.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Because at least athletes in the world they have seasons.
Yeah.
They're on for a season.
And then they're off. We get 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Yep.
You know? Then what? How are you supposed to manage, like, they get months. It's actually, you're bringing up a really good point. I've never really thought about that. They, like, have a whole off season where they don't have to.
And even, like, because I've been exposed a lot to the soccer world recently. They even only have 2 months off. And I do not mean to shit on athletes at all.
No.
But as soccer players, you're not swinging weight into your joints. You're running.
Right.
And you're kicking.
Yeah.
And for the most part, those are decently non-weight bearing activities.
Sure.
Whereas,
Absolutely.
like, as a circus artist.
Oh, you're holding your weight by your fingers.
Yep.
Or your hair.
Or your hair.
Or your ankle.
Or your jaw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally.
So, like, if you're doing that 10 shows a week all year round,
you're gonna.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
So, and athletes get injured, but they also have time off. And not that Cirque doesn't, but resources within. Oh, no.
I think dancers are really gypped. Really gypped. I mean, how many dancers are making enough money to go see a specialist every time that they're injured? Cirque performers, and I think a couple other companies provide a PMed or a physical therapist on site, and that's like an extreme privilege, but it's necessary. But like, what about the dancers who gig all the time? What about the dancers out in LA who are doing video after award show after video and then going on tour? I'd like to think tours have got people on board that are taking care of them.
I hope so.
Never been, but even cruise ships we didn't really have. We were seen, but it wasn't often, I
didn't even have one.
No?
Whenever I was on Royal, we didn't have one.
When did you work for Royal? 2019.
Is that when you were there?
Yeah.
What ship were you on?
Navigator of the Seas.
Oh. You guys had longer than 3-day cruises? I thought you guys were only 3 and 4.
We did. Well, at the start, it was like 9.
Oh.
and then 7, and then all of a sudden when Coco K opened.
Yeah, okay.
Oh
my God, I love Coco K.
Me too.
The mango and the fruit there was on another level.
I love a Coco K trip. I love a Coco K day. Because it's like, especially like your cast would find like one of those beaches that like nobody was like really going to, and then you guys would just take it over it. That was the best.
And then when I got the courage to go into the water because of all the jellyfish.
All the jellyfish and all the weird stuff going on down there. That's wild. But 2019, I went to rehearsals in December of 2019? 2019. No.
2018.
2018.
Okay.
And then I was on the contract through 2019. And then I started another one at the top of 2020.
Oh,
It was my second contract. I went all the way to Australia, and then COVID hit. And I had to come back.
Got it.
We were this close to crossing paths.
I started rehearsals March of 2019.
So literally right after I left to go board the ship. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I got off November of 2019.
Wow.
And I was supposed to start another one like February or March of 2020. But obviously.
But you couldn't.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that rehearsal studio.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
With all the love in the world. The what are they called? The dorms need help. I don't know if they're any better right now, but
they're not.
Okay.
Bay Vista.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, Bay Vista. My back hurts so bad.
The green walls.
Oh, my God.
I'm so glad you relate to that. What the campus is that? Florida International University, FIU, as I think is what it is. I loved going down there, though. That was my first job.
Yeah. I mean, same.
Like, it was my first time. I didn't go to college. Did you go to school?
I went to TAPS.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm a TAPS kid.
I knew that, actually.
Yeah. I started that contract 3 days after TAPS ended.
Oh, wow. You, like, really jumped into it.
Yeah.
That was my college experience.
Yeah.
That was my dorm. Yeah,
that was
my dorm. That was my, like...
That's what I tell people, is ship life was my college experience.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like.
I'm super grateful for it. I think it was so good for me. I wasn't really the best at school at the time. Like, my senior year, I slipped behind pretty hard because I was dancing. I ended up moving dance studio. So I grew up in a town called Luxembourg, but the closest like city near it is St. Cloud, super central Minnesota. I went to St. Cloud School Dance. It was like maybe one of 3 dance studios that were there. It was definitely the biggest. I was the only boy for a long time. A couple would come in and out, but I started dancing when I was 6, and I was at that studio, and I mean, that place gave me everything.
They know what they're doing, that's for sure.
Or at least as much as they could.
Yeah.
In this like small town in central Minnesota, up until like my sophomore year of high school. I was at this one studio, and I was teaching. I was editing all the music. I was getting scholarshiped in because family couldn't really pay for all my tuition, and they had me do on like 2 teams even. So like that place, Sue Arnold is her name, who owns the studio. They gave me everything, and it just kind of got to a point where dance was becoming, at that time, like, I didn't really want to do it anymore. I was on the senior line when I was in 7th grade. Like, there was no goal for me to hit, and that place wasn't really facilitating the possibility of being a professional. It would have been really rare if anybody came out of that studio to be a professional dancer. So I ended up moving to a different studio an hour away called Summit Dance Shop. And that's an hour away. So every day after school, my mom would come pick me up. We'd commute down, and then I would go to dance from 5 p.m. to 9:30, and then it would be an hour drive back. And then I would attempt to do my homework, but I didn't. Because I didn't care. So by the time, like my senior year, I was tapped out, and the idea of going to college, I did NYCDA, I did the college, a big audition and that whole thing, and it didn't interest me. I don't know why, and I kind of felt crazy for not wanting to do it. But it was my journey. It was the thing that I was supposed to do. It's the thing that makes me and my story special, so that my trajectory was not exactly what I thought it was supposed to be, At that time, I was doing So You Think You Can Dance too, my senior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was missing school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't make the live show, so I thought my career was over.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how am I supposed to break into the industry? How am I supposed to be that guy up there if I don't have America watching me on television? I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then cruise ships came along. And then it just trickle affected into coming here, which was crazy. Crazy. You have no idea where your life is going. Ever. Ever.
But that's the most exciting part about it.
How do you, sorry, I want to ask you this. How do you stay like aligned? Like, I feel like alignment is what's gotten me to sitting in this chair and talking with you, is because, yeah, alignment. I try my best to let things happen. And then when I see something like start to make sense to me, that's when I'll like, okay, now I go. I'm Sagittarius. So like pull the arrow back and then release it. You just have to wait for the right time. Are you a Sag?
I've been holding on to my tongue since almost the moment this has started. Tyrese, you and I are so stupidly similar. Yes, I'm a Sag.
When's your birthday?
December 4th.
Really?
Yeah.
When's December 19th?
You and I are so many things in your story are so similar that I can fucking relate to.
I don't do shit unless if I know that I'm gonna nail it. I wait for the alignment. I wait for the wind.
Okay.
I wait. And then I go, okay, cool, I got it.
Okay. Are we if we're really into astrology, I can tell you. I'm a Sag sun, but I'm also a Gemini moon. So like I'm gonna aim it, but luckily I'm like my Gemini's like, let's go. And then if I fuck up, my Sag is just running after the arrow and catches it.
It's like, no, let's do that again. Let's not do that. I love that. Cool. Wow. Of course you're a Sag.
Oh yeah.
Takes one to know one. Takes one to know one.
Wait, so what was your question? How do you stay
aligned? Like in moving through your career and stuff, like I was saying, I just kind of like wait until things start making sense to me. But how do you stay aligned? Because I feel from our interactions prior to this and just like talking with you, you seem that you have a very good like understanding of your compass, like navigating where to go, when to go.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it looks like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's what it looks like.
It does. Honestly, it does feel like that.
I don't know. I mean, if like in terms of alignment when it comes to taking action on something,
sure,
I have to like feel overwhelmingly inspired to do it.
Cool.
Like this podcast, like this space is exactly what I pictured.
Really?
Yeah. And I did not do anything until I knew that I could create this, because this is what I saw.
Yeah.
Like,
and once it looks like that and feels like that, that's when you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yes, I guess I can agree. I haven't thought of it in the way that you describe, but now that I'm thinking about it, like, yes, because there's also things that I know I want to do, but I don't have clarity on what it is yet.
Yeah.
Although I know I'm going to lean in that direction, but how I'm going to get there, not necessarily how I'm going to get there, but the clarity on what that end goal or what that vision looks like hasn't popped into my head yet.
Yeah.
But once it pops into my head, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll go do that.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. We were kind of talking about it before we started rolling. Acting. I know that's something that I really want to do. I don't know what it looks like yet, though. I just know that I'm supposed to start kind of like veering off into this lane. And then I'm going to wait until things start making sense. People, connections, ideas, thoughts, opportunities, whatever it is. Once that stuff starts like coming my way, then I'm like, oh, I see it aligning, I see it making sense, and then it's like, oh, there's the image. Now I can go for it. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's my ADHD.
Same.
But like acting, same thing. I've always I want to act. I want to act more. I love acting. And I know of a great acting coach.
Yeah.
And I know that he has classes. But I haven't felt the inspiration to ask him about it yet. because I also know that I'm not in a space right now in my life that I can even add that to my
Add that
plate
to your
right
plate.
now.
Mhm.
But the day that I wake up and I feel the inspiration
You're
to be like, I need to message him.
I love that.
And then I'll message him, and then that'll be it.
I feel that about singing too.
Yeah.
I have a friend she's a part of Mad Apple with me.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Jacqueline, if you've ever worked with her, maybe. She's on my ass about singing.
I just did a gig with her, actually.
That's why I was like, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure that you've like run into her.
Yeah.
She's on my ass about singing. She's like, you need to sing. She's like, when you're ready, very similar. Like when you wake up that morning and you have the capacity and the space for it, she's like, we're going to sing. And I know it's something I need to do. And I know it would be something like good for us to be multifaceted, versatile entertainers. I'm just not like there yet. I think that also comes with like insecurity and nerves because when you've danced for your whole life, right? Same. It's kind of terrifying thinking about going on stage and not dancing, but singing. What do you mean? What do you mean I can't move my body? That's my language. So now I have to learn a new language from square one? That's terrifying,
Yeah.
And it's like those little thoughts that come into my mind. I'm aware that I can do it. We can do it. We can act. We can sing. We could probably do anything we put our mind to because we've gotten this far, but it's still scary. And it's still like tough to break through some of those barriers or maybe quiet some of those voices that it's more terrifying than it actually is,
I'm a big believer in timing, though. When the timing is right for you to do that,
then
you'll feel inspired to do it.
Absolutely.
And not a moment before. And if you never get around to it,
then it wasn't meant for it to be.
Yeah. Or it'd be different if it came along and you said, no, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If somebody opened the door for you and you were like, no, I don't want to.
Right.
Versus, I'm going to open the door just when I get there. When I arrive to the door, I'll open it. 100%. Like, do not doubt. I will do that. But, I feel like that's the difference. When the timing's right, the door is unlocked. Yeah.
It's ready to be opened.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But that's just my belief. Because it gives me hope.
Though. Yeah, it does. No, I love that. I think that belief is like really strong, actually. This is a good conversation, guys. I just hope you know that. We're like really vibing over here. I hope you can feel that energy through the microphone, the camera, whatever. I love breaking the fourth wall.
No, it's great. It's great.
I think the fourth wall is so fun to play with, especially as a performer.
Okay, like how?
I'm in 2 shows that are completely opposing from one another.
They are.
They are literally, on paper, the furthest thing from each other. Style of show. One is a theatrical production show. One is a cabaret style production show. 2 very different things. One's very strong narrative. One has no narrative at all. One's a plug and play where you can do anything you want. One, Mystère, has the thickest fourth wall ever. They don't even light the audience. The audience is supposed to look into the world of Mystère. The creatures and the things that are happening aren't really supposed to see the audience. They're the audience is supposed to consume it. The performers tell the story, right? Mad Apple, it's the complete flip opposite.
Yeah.
The fourth wall is completely broken. It is supposed to be wink, wink. I know that you're an audience member watching me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play with that idea and I'm going to make you feel maybe a little bit special at this moment if I can catch your eye. Or, you know what I mean? The energy just feels completely different. And I love performing in both of them for that reason, because it's hard to bounce back and forth. It's hard for me to be up in the bird, get up in the makeup and the feathers and everything and go on stage and see somebody inches away from me in the front row and not break character
and not
be like, I'm just a guy in a headpiece. You know what I mean? Like,
don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. It's like, because at Mad Apple, that's so acceptable. The amount of times at Mad Apple where I'm on stage and I'm like, bitch, I'm tired, like to an audience member, because it's like kind of acceptable to do in the grand scheme of the show. it's endless. So yeah, I love the dichotomy between the two.
That's fun.
I think the fourth wall is super interesting in that way.
Yeah.
Especially in like live performance.
Oh yeah.
I think it's cool.
That's got to be real fun though. As a performer, to have such opposites.
Dancing wise too.
Oh yeah, very.
When
opposite.
was the last time I did a double coupe turn into a drag, into a back coupe, into a right arabesque whack?
Right.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Literally, not even my solos had stuff like that in it. You know, I was a powerhouse dancer. I was doing like pirouettes and like a toe touch. I wasn't doing like modern ballet contemporary. I've really never had to perform that before. So that stylistically dance genre is challenging. It's a different warm-up. Different warm-up, different, you know, I'm gotta do a couple tendus, gotta do a couple plies, gotta do a Pilates workout, gotta make sure my back is stretched because I'm gonna yank my leg behind my body, which I haven't done since I was 14 years old. Like, you know, those kinds of things it makes it all like fun. It makes it so much fun to be like, oh, I can't think of it like this. I have to completely change my mindset. And that makes the time go by faster, makes the job more entertaining and more fun. And it's also really good training.
Oh, yeah. Versatility as not just a dancer, but also as a performer.
As a human.
That too. You
know, it's important. But it's fun. I like it right now.
Did you have to audition to be a Mystère, or did you just...
I did.
Okay.
To make a long story short, there was a jigsaw puzzle that needed some helping. There was an injury at O, and I had gotten, months before that, I got an opportunity to maybe go be the backup at O while being full-time at Mad Apple. And the idea of that was really daunting because I was coming up on year 3 of Mad Apple, was very tired physically and emotionally, to be quite transparent with you. I poured a lot of my heart and soul into that show, and I was just getting tired. And then I had this really cool opportunity to work with Paris Goebel and Lady Gaga, and that kind of sparked my, I have to leave. I have to go. I have to start slowly backing out of this wonderful, incredible opportunity that I do 10 times a week. Like, that decision in itself was kind of hectic. So it came up at this time where I was thinking about like maybe not re-signing or maybe going to an on-call position like I have now. And they offered this thing to go, you know, help out at O. And I was like, I don't really want to add more to my plate knowing that I might want to go.
Right.
Let alone a couple months later, there's an injury at O. And instead of having me go there, they asked Thomas, who is the male bird of prey full-time at Mystère, to go to O. And then that spot was open, and they were like, well, we know that you feel this way and that you kind of want to do something fresh and fun. Do you want to audition for this role to do a temp contract? And I was like, yeah. Because Mystère was one of my dream shows. I didn't want to do the male bird of prey. I wanted to do the green lizard. But just being in something like that, something that has such a legacy in theater, full stop. Mystère changed the world of entertainment.
Yeah, it did.
Theoretically. That show alone in Las Vegas, like, it changed everything. So to have an opportunity to maybe go be a part of it, I was like, absolutely. And they're like, then you can come back to your on-call position at Mad Apple. And I was like, great. That sounds awesome. So I went into like a private audition. It was McMean and one other guy. And I ended up booking it. And I started like immediately. They were like, okay, your last full-time show at Mad Apple is a week from now. And then you're going to start going over to Treasure Island.
Well,
you're going to start doing your makeup. You're going to start doing all the things, fittings, costumes. I think I got put in the show in 3 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it felt quick. That's for sure. But that's how the game is sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get all the time in the world just to like feel super, super comfortable in it. You have to just make it work. And I had a really hard time with imposter syndrome over there because of the technique, because I hadn't been doing that stuff. I teach it. I do it in like my classes and like my choreo when I do things. But at Mad Apple, like doing the dances every day, I wasn't doing leg hold.
No.
I wasn't pointing my feet.
Mm-mm.
Really. I wasn't rolling through my feet, jumping up and down, and I wasn't doing that stuff. So for a little bit of time after opening, I was really insecure on like how I looked and if I belonged there. And just like those kinds of thoughts were going in my head. And then when I was comfortable and people started coming to see it, close people, not just people in general, people who I really value their opinion and they see me as a human first before an artist. Once I was getting validation from them of like, wow, this was meant for you to do. I did some deeper thinking on it and I was like, oh, it's 10-year-old Tyrese. 10-year-old Tyrese gets to go out on stage at Mystere every night and prance and frolic around like a little bird because that's what I was doing in my kitchen at that age. I was putting on shows, but it was never human. I was always a mystical character or there was this bigger idea. And once I realized like who I was doing it for and that he was getting the opportunity to perform, like that's when it all made sense. And now every time I'm at Mystere, it's pure bliss every single time. I could have a rough run of like the solo that I do, or I might bobble a little bit or something, and I really don't beat myself up anymore about it because it's not about that. It's about younger me who gets to like let go and have fun, Older adult me gets to do Mad Apple and like have fun and like be nasty and like to do all that kind of stuff. But young Tyrese gets to do Mystere. And that's pretty special, I think. Just took me a little bit to figure that out, but that's okay. Things take time.
I think all performers are in it for their inner child.
Have to. And if you haven't realized that yet, think about it. Because little guy in there deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
100%. It's like the way we talk, If you've gotten this far, you can't just be doing it because it gives you a paycheck. You can't. There's no way. It's so exhausting. It's so exhausting emotionally sometimes. There's no way you're doing it just for a paycheck. There's no way. Or just because you're really good at it. There's something deeper going on there. Sometimes when I teach class, you talked about taps and how you were like that age. And I use the word preaching, but not really. But I preach to that age group and those kids at TAPS who come through that program so diligently on please dance for yourself. Please go outside of this studio and just freestyle to freestyle. Cry if you gotta cry. Like, it's for us. It's not like it is an opportunity and a career path, and it's a really bold one to choose. But before that, it's for you. You had to have been doing it your whole life because it did something for you. And if you haven't realized yet, you can use it. You're going through a tough time, dance. I promise you'll feel better. I think there's quite a lot of science behind that. I'm not going to like quote anyone on it, but I'm quite certain there's a lot of science behind dancing and chemically what goes on in your brain. I think there's a lot that would prove that dopamine probably jumps up, stress relief, X, Y, and Z. I know that stuff is happening. So use it, especially as you're coming into like adulthood and knowing what tactics you can use to get through this crazy ass society that we're living through right now. Crazy society that we're living through right now. At least dance. At least find a moment to dance if it's becoming too overwhelming. Then go work your ass off in class and train. But dance for yourself every once in a while. I got to remind myself to do that too. Have to.
Gets you out of your head and into your body. And it's so much more comfortable in your body.
So much more. I prefer speaking with my body than I do my mouth.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I talk a lot. I really do. I talk a lot. It's something that I used to like really struggle with, but I've embraced it now as a 26-year-old man. I talk a lot, but I still feel more comfortable dancing than I do talking. Even if it's for me in a mirror.
It's because I don't have the words, but I can show it to you.
100%.
I don't I don't know if it's a lack of vocabulary or a lack of what words can encapsulate. But I
don't even think it's a lack of anything. Sometimes I think it's just a wire cross, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's actually probably the opposite of lacking. It's just a wire cross that for some reason, your mind, body, and soul, it makes more sense for you to facilitate those feelings, those things through your physical. I think it just like makes more sense. And I think some people, words are way more their jam. Some people it's writing. Some people can't even talk the words that they're writing, but they can just go and go. Like, I wish so badly I could journal like that. I was a person who journaled like day after day after day. I just bought, my sister convinced me, shout out to Carissa, 'cause she's always on my ass on stuff like this, but she's hugely one of the reasons that I dance in general. But she made me buy The Artist Way, that book that Dochi did. It's a 12-week journaling program. And so I haven't like really dove into it, so don't shit on me in the comments. I think it's like a 12-week program to essentially like get out how to utilize your creativity. Journaling for an hour and a half every single morning for 12 weeks, 8 weeks, something crazy.
Yeah.
One time a week, you have to take yourself on a like artistic date just by yourself. Go see a show, go see a movie, go consume something artistic just by yourself, which is also super important. And then the book just like talks about different tactics, and it kind of breaks you down as a creative before it rebuilds you back up. And I bought it because my sister started it, and she was like, you need to do this. Like, as entering this new phase of life that I'm on as an on-call, having more time for myself, journaling like is something that I really want to be good at to keep track. There's a lot of thoughts and ideas that run through our brain every single day that it's hard to keep track of them, especially if you have like ADHD or something. You know what I mean? It's hard. It just is tough. And I really want to be better at that. So soon, I just got to find the right time, right? Wake up that one morning where I'm like, I'm doing it today. I got to find the right time to start that journey, because I think I would benefit a lot. I think a lot of people would benefit from it, especially if you're creative, you know?
I even, during COVID,
Yeah.
my mom was still working, so I was at home alone. And I didn't have anybody to talk to. And my hand would cramp. So I would just throw my phone on record.
Really?
And I would just talk to myself. And I had been doing that, not so much anymore, but I did that for a long, long time, probably up until about 2022, probably 2 years.
Cool.
I would just, because I couldn't write it down and my brain moves too fast.
Yeah.
So I would just talk to myself. And it's great. She never interrupts me.
It's like a video diary.
Yeah, instead of like writing it down. Yeah, which was nice because I'm such a verbal processor.
Sure. I do that in like really big pivotal moments of my life where I want to kind of capture like how I was feeling. An accolade, a this or that, a low moment. So usually at New Year's, I'll like set up my phone and talk, but I love that idea because it's well, when you watch it back, you like see so much of yourself and how you're feeling physically, how your eyes are sitting, your tone of voice, and like that can obviously get lost in unless if you're a good writer who knows how to write and get feeling across, right? That's why there are authors in the world. But I like the idea of video entry.
Because it's also like watching a dance video back.
Yes.
Because it's like I can see, okay, so when I did that, I was emoting this, and this is what it like looked like and felt like. But then when I watch myself like talk and actually get those feelings out, I can see those feelings move, you know?
Yes. I bet when you watch these back, you probably feel very similar too.
Yeah, they're not as emotionally charged, though.
Definitely not. Totally.
I'm usually crying in all these videos.
Say, yeah.
Recording.
Yes, no, I understand.
Yeah. So if my phone ever gets hacked, they're gonna see.
We're exposing.
They're gonna see all the videos of me just
of
crying into my phone in the car.
Which is cool, though. That's cool. That it's like a lot of people are uncomfortable with themselves to even do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something I'm like, I try to be really grateful for, is like that I am emotional,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I think a lot of people struggle with emotion
Mm-hmm.
or they bottle it up and don't want it to be seen.
Mm.
But I love that I'm emotional.
Mm.
I lead
You wouldn't be a great performer if you weren't.
because I lead from it first.
You have to. You have to.
Have to.
Even people who aren't, even performers, I should say, who aren't extremely emotional.
Yeah.
They allow the stage to be a place where they do experience it.
100%.
Whether
They're
they
way
know that,
more
whether they know that
know it or not. They don't know it, but they're way more receptive to it.
Uh-huh.
You put a performer up and you give them a 5, 6, 7, 8 and you say, do that for 2 minutes straight.
Mhm.
Cool. Versus somebody like, here's the 5, 6, 7, 8, but this is the only emotion that you can operate out of. They are going to perceive the emotional one 30,000 times more.
Mhm.
Because it's like what they can understand. They're not going to understand why 6 pirouettes into a switch tilt is, yeah, sure, it's flashy and it's athletic, and they're going to go, wow, I can't do that.
Mhm.
But it doesn't do anything for them.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't do anything for me. And I do it and I get it. But my favorite performers are the emotional ones. My favorite creators are the emotional ones. The people who have something to not even say, just maybe get off their chest.
Mhm.
I love that. Sometimes when I choreograph stuff and I really struggle like choreographing on myself. Perfectionism. I think that's like the simple answer to that. When I have somebody with me, or when I've been in the room with somebody else and maybe they're choreographing, I realized how not strange my thought process is, but like I really have to pull up the lyrics. I really have to have a personal story of why these two things relate to each other, and every 8 count, every breath, every step has to come from like a very real place. And sometimes that's harder to think up than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know? Sometimes that's take more time consuming, but I love it so much more. It feels better to do. Doesn't feel like so mathematic. You know, it's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Emotion. It's everything.
I have one thing to add to that, and then I do have another question.
Yay.
Growing up, competitive dancer, my mom always said when I started doing solos, I say started, I was what, like 7?
7.
But she was that mom that had me practice in the living room.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Moved all the furniture.
Yep.
I was probably in costume too.
Uh-huh.
And I will never forget, she like stopped the music and looked at me and said, Abby, you are taking up 2.5 minutes of their time.
Ooh.
You better make it worth it.
Work. You had a dance mom.
Yeah.
But that's good dance mom advice. You have to make it worth it.
But I love that because I have recently realized that I didn't just take that into my dance life. I took that into my life.
Oh, yeah.
Like that advice. You better make it worth it.
Yeah. Every interaction that you have with people, crossing somebody in the grocery store aisle, like, why not make it worth it? I'm not saying that you have to have a full-blown conversation with them. It's not enough time for a podcast episode. But nice, gentle, like, hi, hello, oh sorry. You know, that type of interaction is worth it than just the mundane nothing sometimes. I totally understand that. Wow.
I knew you would.
I've never put that into words. My friends make fun of me often. And if you're listening to this, you know exactly who you are. And it's not bullying, but whatever. They make fun of me because they feel that when I talk to people, let's say we're out and about, they are like, you interview people. Like when you talk to them, like they're like, Tyrese, it's not that deep. Like you can just say hi and bye and we can go. Like we don't have to sit and talk about like their life. And I'm like, but I want to. But there's something about making it worth it, making the interaction worth it. I like, what is the point of saying, hi, how you doing? How was work tonight? Good? Cool. I'm going to go back to doing what I want to do. Like if I I might not be that close with you, but I can make the conversation worth it.
Mhm.
And it's going to be authentic. Like, I genuinely care.
Mhm.
I might not hang out with you every single day, or maybe ever for that matter, but I care about your well-being and maybe what's going on in your life because I don't see you that often.
Mhm.
So I'd rather make, even if it's a stranger, who are you? Where do you come from? Because I know I come from a hell of a place.
Mhm.
So you must too, you know? I think that makes those conversations and those moments worth it. Oof, that's good. Oof. It's worth it. And you guys know who I'm talking about.
But even if it's not deep, like, what's also worth it is doing a show or doing a performance just to spread joy in the world. There's no, it could not be any more shallow. I'm doing a kickball change.
Literally.
But like
that girl smiling.
But like you are smiling ear to ear, and that's worth it.
It's 100% worth it.
You know?
Because me smiling makes you smile.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
Mm-hmm.
that's magic.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Or me
Mm-hmm.
doing this thing, telling my story or what I envision this thing to be is making you cry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not every part of the ocean is deep, but it still nourishes the world.
Ooh, that was good. Ooh, that was good. That was a good quote. I don't know. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a lot of quotes.
that was good.
Thanks.
You should put that on a painting in your little coffee station. That was good. I want that in my house.
Thanks.
Clip that. That was good. That was good. That was really good.
I will.
I've always wanted to say clip that, so that was awesome.
I'm upset.
That's epic.
Oh, okay. I do. Okay, there's actually two.
Tell me.
I mean, multiple questions I want to ask.
Ask.
When your part of the intro was artistic director, or of Matt Apple,
yeah,
and that's a very different role from being a dance captain.
Yeah.
So you had to do both at the same time.
Kind of, but
Okay.
no. So
Okay.
what had happened was Cirque made a big shift in their system of running a production.
Mm-hmm.
And they, like I said, they brought it back. So it was a position that used to exist. There's always an artistic director,
Mm-hmm.
right? But to help support and facilitate with 6 or, how many ever resident shows we've got now, one artistic director can't facilitate half of them, like, efficiently. You need somebody in-house who's going to be there every day, get to know it, take care of it,
Right.
nurture it, X, Y, and Z. So creation was in 2022. I had been a part of the show for 2 years. We hit the 2-year mark or something like that, or we were about to hit the 2-year mark. Long story short, they bring this position to help. At the time, Tim Smith was our artistic director.
Mm-hmm.
And the senior advisor of artistic performance, the SAP, position was created. And there's a beautiful woman named Teresa who came into Mad Apple to take on that role. Teresa had a baby, and she leaves for maternity leave.
Okay.
And to make a long story short again, they were interviewing people, and Tim called me and said, I think you should learn how to do this, and I want to teach you how to do this. He's like, I know people are applying, but I think you should do this. And he's like, are you comfortable with that? He's like, you don't get to perform. You aren't the dance captain. You don't get to take care of it like that anymore. He's like, we're going to talk about the bigger picture. So I got taken off stage in like February until almost May, I think. Something like that, February to May-ish, to be the SAP, to be his advisor. So Tim was our artistic director. Everything that comes with that's contractually casting, that light looks wrong, or let's make that better. It doesn't sound good at this part of the theater. How do we fix that? Who do you talk to fix that? How do you work with stage management to get this section of the show rehearsed and scheduling? Like, he walked me through all of it. And Tim's accolades and what he has accomplished in his career are endless. A majority, can't say it like factually, but I know majority of it was Broadway.
Oh. Beautiful.
Yeah, like dance captain, multiple shows, like guy's a legend in that realm. So I knew I had a lot to learn, but he walked me through everything.
Yeah, good hands. You're in good hands.
Good hands. Like I consider him my mentor. I trust him with almost every ounce of me. How to talk to an artist, how to convey an idea clearly and get it out and see a result. And if the result's not there, how to facilitate that. How to not be, I don't think I'm a very discouraging human naturally. I think I'm quite empathetic and I'm quite calm. But maybe what I needed to work on and what I realistically did need to work on was like the discipline and some of the more harder notes and things, because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. But in one of those roles, you have to be stern sometimes. You're never rude, but you provide evidence, you provide a solution, and then you help them get to the goal that you see for them. And he taught me how to do that. And that was magical. I've forever changed because of that. And what a better place for me to do it than Mad Apple, where I was a part of the creation process. I knew everything that there was to be about that show, what every scene was supposed to feel like, or at least in my head, which also as a creative director, you have to have a very strong sense of self and what you believe something should be or how the audience should perceive it. That's the whole goal, is to make sure it's being perceived in the correct way, efficiently, ultimately to make the company money so people come see the show. But at the end of the day, like that it's reading correctly. So it was the perfect playground for me because I knew all the artists. I had already been the dance captain, so I was normally on big microphones, facilitating a rehearsal that people were used to my voice because a microphone does a lot of crazy things. Humans naturally are attentive to loud. Somebody on a mic, you're just going to listen. So there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that.
Like, don't cuss.
Don't cuss. Right. Right. I like when to crack jokes, when not to.
Yep.
I do it all the time because I want to lighten the mood, but sometimes you can't do that because you need the rehearsal to be efficient, I loved doing that. It was tough for me to go back to being an artist in the show because of lack of control. I felt it was hard at first, that I was like, oh my God, I just want to do this all the time. I just want to make the show better.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in it. I just want to make it better. I just want to I want to work on that scene longer. I want to make their story make sense to them. So towards the end of my stint doing that, I got way more comfortable with calling a rehearsal with specific acts and scenes. And we had a blast. Developing more substance for some of those scenes in that show, new ideas. And then Tim would every once in a while be like, hey, can you get this and this done within a week? Okay, go. I'm going to let you figure it out. And I had to email. When have I ever? Girl, you know exactly what I'm talking about because I didn't even email you back about this. Me sitting down to actually write an email to somebody important in the company to get a change done or get something done was tough and scary. I would put it off because I'm like, I just don't feel like I worded that right yet, so I'm just not going to send it yet. That's ADHD brain. That's kind of how it works. So I had to become really comfortable with do it up. You got to get the project going. You got to get it done. You got to get it. You know what I mean? And that was good for me too. I loved that stint. I love being a creative director. I love it. It's something that I want to do. When people ask me, what's your goal in this career or your goal in life? Don't think Ralph Lauren said it. Maybe it's in his documentary. Go watch the Ralph Lauren documentary, Very Ralph. One of the highest forms of flattery is when your name is used as an adjective, or at least I believe that. Oh, that's very, very Fosse. Oh, that's very Beyonce of them to do. That's very Ralph. That's all I want. I want somebody to look at something that I've created and go, I know Tyrese Parker did that. I know he did that. I don't know why, but something about it in essence makes me think of him. That is my goal. I don't need anything else. And I think the way that I'll get that is the more I creative direct and I create things, you know, whether it's choreography or if it's like, you know, I'm directing musical. I don't know. Could be anything, a short film, a film. I don't know. But I think that's like, I love creative direction. I think it's so cool. It's so cool. You get to like create anything you want for people to consume. Like, how much fun is that? Like, what? At least I find that fun because I did it in my kitchen for years by myself.
Yep.
So now all I want to do is that for other people, you know, and that stint of time doing the SAP position at Mad Apple, like really landed that. Like, this is what I want to do. You know, once the body doesn't let me do a Batma anymore, that's what I want to do.
I love that.
Until we can't anymore. And then that's it.
So what's your funniest moment as a performer? You said you were going to give me a whole story about this.
Well, I did have a joke that I was going to say.
Oh.
My friend was like, you should do this. And I was like, that'd be so dramatic. So I'm going to tell you guys what it was, but I'm not going to do it. When you asked that question, what's the funniest thing you've ever done as a performer? I was going to say that time that I was on a podcast and I threw a tantrum and cussed the host out and then left. And I was going to like...
Oh my God, you could have done... I could have gone viral. You were so selfish. You could have gone viral. Would have been great.
I like, my friend Mikey was like, yo, you should do that. And I was like, I don't really know her that well. That like, she might not think I'm kidding. I don't know. But my like funniest moment as a performer, I think I talk a lot on stage.
Love that.
I talk a lot. Like a lot. Mainly because at Mad Apple, it's allowed. Right? It's like a kind of a part of the vibe of the show. I think some of the funniest things that have happened on stage are like those quick conversations to one another.
Yeah.
Audience members. And they'll, like, last night I happened to be over there performing and we're doing Vogue, the most like gay pride, queer pride number, right? It's like cool to see something like that on a big corporate like stage, you know? And this guy in the VIP seating, or the on-stage seating rather, is wearing a Golden Knights shirt, but it's like the pride flag.
Okay.
And like there's this part in the number where I like slowly fan myself and I'm like sitting on the ground and I'm like this far away from him. And I was like, is that a Golden Knights pride shirt? Like that. Like that's how I said it with music. Rather be drunk, but at least I'm like blaring over it. And he kind of looked at me like at first and like looked away because like, ooh, performer's looking at me. That's like kind of scary. But then he heard what I said and was like forgot that he was like, yeah, it is. And I was like, hot. And then I like left. Like things like that.
I love that. Yeah.
Those are the funniest moments. Yeah. Or like sometimes my pants ripped the other day.
Aww.
I did a straddle and like right up the fucking center of it. And I was like, guys, my pants ripped. You know, like stuff like that. That's the stuff that gets me to laugh.
Yeah.
I think falling is very funny.
Yeah.
I've fallen up the stairs. I've fallen down the stairs. I've fallen a lot of places. Those make me laugh, but I think more so it's like the talking.
Yeah.
If I can crack a joke or just find a perfect beat to make somebody laugh on like audience or on stage, like that's the the funniest for me.
Oh yeah.
I love moments like that. I feel like we had a lot of this gig that we did at Area 15. Together, like I feel like a lot of that, like that wasn't too serious.
No, we got the fun part.
We got the fun part of it. Yeah, where it was like we could joke around and like that's what I remember of that gig was how much fun we had and like the laughing and the giggling because we were talking. Yeah, we were vocal. Yeah, I think that makes any performance opportunity more fun. I think that's my answer. There's nothing like stupid that I've ever done yet. I need wood to knock on.
There's no wood around. I'm so sorry.
Plastic.
you knock on drywall.
Knock on drywall. Yeah.
Well, I know you wanted to talk about fame.
Oh, the idea of fame is so wild. Do you
Mhm.
desire to be famous at all?
You know,
Because there's different kinds of fame.
I'm discovering a common theme in my life.
Sure.
And this came to me yesterday.
Cool.
So who knows? By the time this is out, it might have changed. Who
Truly.
knows? But I am learning that a common theme in my life is to be a voice for others.
Cool.
In a way.
Yep.
And so if what I do and what I decide to do from here results in that, cool.
Cool. Love.
If it never results in it, cool.
Also cool.
But I can't sit here and be like, I desire to have 15 million followers on TikTok.
Right.
I really don't care because I just want to say something.
Yeah.
You know? Or do something.
Yeah.
And still figuring out what that is.
What that is. Cool.
Which is fine because I'm not in a rush. I have so much fucking time left in my life. I want to help as many people as I can as I do it. Whatever it is.
Love that. I think fame right now, because of things like followers and stuff like that, like there's a level of fame where some people can't go to the grocery store, and there's a level of fame that you might have 3 million followers on this platform, but nobody recognizes you in the grocery store. And I think both are happening simultaneously, and I think that's crazy.
I have a perfect example just popped in my head. Mia Michaels.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked up her Instagram?
I know her.
She has maybe 2,000 followers.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wild. But she's a household name in the dance world. Why? How?
She was a household name.
Yeah, period.
At one point in time. When So You Think was at its height, like the peak of So You Think You Can Dance, that lady quite literally made contemporary dance like consumable for a muggle.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
She's a legend.
More than.
And yet she has 2,000 followers on Instagram.
I know.
Why?
Because
that's insane.
Because she doesn't, I would assume she doesn't like.
But she has fame.
She has so much fame. Oh, this is I love that we're talking about this.
But she has
is so
fame.
Interesting. So my run-in with Mia Michaels a couple of times. She did a senior small group at my studio.
Wow.
It was one of the first times that she came back to doing studio choreography.
Yeah. And
then she reset the bench piece from So You Think You Can Dance.
Okay.
The one that got her, I mean, she has multiple Emmys, I'm pretty sure. But you know what one I'm talking about. Yeah. She reset that on me and my duet partner. So I got to work with her like quite intimately. Yeah. And then I've assisted her like once. And she's an artist in that kind of way that she's not operating for people to applaud her or validate her. It really seems she's an artist that creates because she has to, because she has something to say. She has emotion that needs to get out, and her language of doing it is creating. And at one point, dancing. Clearly, but as the director and the choreographer, a lot of the things that she does, she's just creating to create. I don't think she has in mind. I don't think a lot of artists, like if Bob Fosse was alive today, there's no way he'd be operating because he wants fame or wants the validation.
I don't even think he did it for that to begin with. I don't know him.
Yeah, I don't mean either, but I
heard he was an ass, but
I would like to think that wasn't why he was doing it.
He did it because like it was their, what's the little windy toy? You know, when you turn it and then it like moves. Yeah.
I don't even know what that's called, but it's in like.
I'm calling it a windy toy right now, but like that's their wind. If they are not creating, they're not moving.
They're not moving. Ooh, which is so crazy. I think Europe has way more people like that than the States. Yeah. I think the whole social media thing and the fame thing happens here way more than it does anywhere else. Yeah. Because I think we are really conditioned and oversaturated with media, and the only media that gets seen is that has numbers and it has traction, and that there are certain elements in those media pieces that have to exist for it to do well.
Right.
Because everything operates around money and success here. And I feel like I've never been to Europe. It's going to happen. Never been to Europe, but I would like to think that over there it's celebrated culturally, like art in general, where fame isn't the priority or the goal. It's the wind up. It's it just winds me up, so I have to do it. And I happen to make that my means of living. You know, and then that's the end of the story. Fame is so interesting. Fame is so weird. I want to be able to go to the grocery store. I can't imagine the people who can't. It has to be so lonely. And being an artist and lonely doesn't really, I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of people's best work comes out from when they are lonely, but like a whole life of loneliness while being an artist, no. No. How else are you going to be inspired? I'm inspired by my friends all the time. All the time. My friends, my family, you know. I don't want to be alone. I don't know. I don't want it though. Maybe an accolade. Maybe an Emmy one day. Maybe that's like the kind of fame. But I don't like the idea of like upkeeping fame too. Like on the social media stuff. Like I have to post this. I have to create this.
Well, now I don't want to.
Yeah. Like what if you don't want to? Yeah. It's crazy. That's really crazy. Fame is weird.
I like the idea of silent fame. You know, same thing.
Yeah.
Like, Mia Michaels changed the world, but
she really did.
But
she's not out here going Instagram live or streaming all the time and posting this, and this. And I think a lot of actors are kind of silent fame sometimes. Like they're in the public eye, but like outside of the carpet when they're doing a press tour for whatever film they're in, like I don't really see them.
Like Susan Salgado.
Ooh.
She helped create Dancers Alliance. But most people don't know that.
Don't know that. Silent fame. Work. That's a great example. Great example.
Now, it's great to know Susan Salgado.
Of course.
But I didn't know who she was until she moved here. Only because also we don't have the Dance Alliance here.
Right.
And I'm not in LA trying to be LA.
Yeah.
So, but then learning that from her, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
wonder how many people in LA know that. And I don't mean like...
I don't know. Not
dancers in LA. How many dancers in LA know that?
I don't know.
But she changed the game for you. Or at least she I don't want to say she single-handedly did it. Because I don't think anybody single-handedly does anything. But she was part of that.
Like you were saying before, you want to say, help, inspire people. And if it happens to give you attention or fame, so be it. But in cases like that, it doesn't always. Even though it's like a huge, pivotal thing, vital thing.
That's part of the reason dancers are part of the union.
Right. That's crazy. All because she wanted. Wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's just like, that's insane.
That is. I'm trying to think of other examples of people like that. I feel like there are big directors that we never see that are like worldly famous, but you wouldn't recognize. I don't know what James
But also
Cameron
people
looks
that like but people that just change the game and never take the spotlight.
No.
That's so cool to me.
It is. It's really selfless.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bunch of adjectives that you could use, but selfless is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Which means I feel like selflessness is naturally really tied to authenticity. Like I'm so selfless that I'm like, this is what I want for beyond just myself.
Yeah.
And I'm cool, like really cool with it being not just for me. I think there has to be a certain level of authenticity with yourself to do that. Otherwise, you'd be putting on a facade.
Yeah.
A little bit at least. I don't know. Who's the most famous person you know? Do you know anyone famous?
Like personally?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, because like we're like one person, two people away from like A-list people just by who we have interacted with in the Las Vegas dance community. You're like really not that far. Like, think about how many people interchangeably know each other here.
Oh my God, I love telling my boyfriend who I'm like, whenever I have somebody on, like whenever I pull up a friend of mine's page,
Sure.
like your page or somebody else's, I'm like, oh, we have 400 mutual followers.
This is
and
what
he goes, what?
400.
And I'm like, yeah, 400. And he goes, I don't even know if I know 400 people. I was like, oh, that's just here in Las Vegas.
That's true. Let alone the people that we've crossed with, like at Royal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like using us as an example. Like, you really have no idea.
Yeah.
But
I have no idea. No clue.
I don't know if I know anyone like famous. I have like somebody in my head who's like, I view them as famous, but they're not like a public figure.
I mean, I know one that has like 1 million followers on TikTok, I think.
That's kind of famous.
I don't know if that counts.
I know.
Yeah. Because she's in the Paris, she's a singer in the Paris show.
See, but like.
Well, I don't know if that counts.
Exactly.
I don't know what constitutes as fame.
I don't know either. I think it's really weird. And I think because of that, like, we idolize and put a lot of light on things that don't necessarily deserve fame.
Okay, I'm going to tie this into the
mean?
dance world real quick, and I want to go on a rant, and then we can end the episode, because I know we're just going to talk forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
We can do a part 2. We can do a part 2 anytime.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm sorry for any future employer or past employer.
This is going to be good.
Why am I posting on Instagram all of my dance videos? Isn't that what a reel is for?
Okay.
And I'm sorry that I don't have tens of thousands of followers. Does that make my dancing less than anybody else?
Mm-mm. Okay.
Also, for anybody posting a job that's like must have a certain amount of followers, get out.
That is crazy.
I'm sorry, but also not sorry at the same time.
That is crazy because you're prioritizing the pull of eyes on your project than the quality of your project. That dancer could be really, really, really talented with 2 million followers or however many you want to say, whatever the requirement may be. But you as the employer or as the lead of that project are prioritizing that it's going to get more viewership than potentially the quality within the project.
Here's the thing. Do I understand running a business? Absolutely.
100%.
Do I understand hiring somebody with a little bit more followers because of you want your project to work? Yes, I get it. 100%. You need to make ends meet.
Right.
You need to make sure that the money that you put into your project does not outweigh the money it makes from it. I get it. 100%.
For sure.
Then don't audition me.
Then
true. Don't hold an audition. Then go find your people.
So, okay.
You know?
So the go find your people thing, though, because I've heard Paris Goebel say this online.
Mm-hmm.
She scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these big choreographers scroll.
Mm-hmm.
The people, we were just talking about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who don't audition or they direct book or they're scrolling and they say, your dance videos on your Instagram better be updated. Or your reel better be tagged at the top of your page because I'm going to scroll and I'm going to see it. And I think people, we have so much access on phones. Like you can go to somebody with 1,000 followers, 500 followers, and then in the next swipe show up to somebody who has like 50,000, right? I understand why Paris, for example, I worship that woman, why she looks for that, because she wants to know that you're actively currently in this day and time training. Like the people who have gone kind of they're still dancing, but they've gone radio silent on social media and their last dance videos from 2.5 years ago. There's no guarantee, although you might be ripping it and super dope, there's no guarantee that that quality is exactly what I'm going to get today. Which is why I think people like her, like, you better be updating it. You better still be posting it because this is what we're using now. So, like, please provide me something if you really want to be considered. So I understand, like, that part of it.
But is that coming from like we're still having an audition, or like I'm not auditioning people, I'm just finding people on socials?
I think more so from we're not having an audition.
Okay.
I've never lived the something that I'm like super nervous to start doing. But I know I have to be the star that I want to be. Auditioning is really scary and really hard.
Oh my God, I love auditioning.
I'm not represented by an agent.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to be, but I know that would mean like auditioning is like the new 9 to 5 at that point. Like you just go day after day. Like people in New York always tell me like, yeah, you'll just like go to this and then you go to this and then you go to this and then you go to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like part of the lifestyle. And that's like really daunting for me sometimes, just the way my career has gone so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because that social media thing is because they're not doing auditions.
Yeah. See, and that, okay, I get it. I understand that.
You know?
I do understand that. I just also have I
think it is. I don't know because I bring up the auditioning thing because I don't live that life, so I actually don't know.
Yeah, if it's like instead of auditioning, I hear you. I get it.
But if we're gonna have us go,
but if you're going to have me come to an audition,
and
then you're gonna look through my Instagram, what's the point of the audition?
I don't know.
Why am I in front? Okay, sure, I haven't posted a dance video in however many months. But I'm here in front of you. I just did the combo.
Do you think it's fair to cut somebody from the final round if they mess up the combo?
No. Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was something I was thinking about recently with the Cirque audition coming up. We were talking about like, how long of a combo do you teach?
Mm-hmm.
Because for a job like this, you're going to do it 10 times a week for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing the same thing. So I want to see you do something that you know really well over and over and over again where you don't have to think about it. That's how I kind of want to audition you.
Mm-hmm. I
don't really want to audition you to see if you could pick up the choreography.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not pick up. That's not what I mean. Yeah. I mean, of course I want to see you pick up the choreography, but I don't need you to prove to me that your brain can handle the most complex equation of dance steps. And that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot recently because I've been given a little bit more opportunity to lead auditions and how to go about as the choreographer leading an audition. It needs to be intentional. Yeah. For the panel and you for what you're looking for. And I think that's like interesting. I'm okay with somebody going down really hard in a round of an audition, but there's just something about them that you can't take away from them. I
just want to know how you come back.
From that?
Yeah, fall, fuck
from
up.
That?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
fall, fuck up. But do you get back to it, or does everything leave your brain and you just kind of improv, but you fucking own it?
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
Because like that's undeniable talent and like aura and like stage presence and then that can be really beneficial on the job. Like I would hate to take away an opportunity from but I guess I don't know because I've never been in the room on like a really high stakes job like that. But I don't want to take that opportunity away if they deserve it.
Yeah. Like I fell in an audition. What was it? Was it this year? Oh my God, I think it was this year. I fell in an audition and in 3 counts I was back up. I fell on my ass. I rolled.
Did you get back
and I
into
made
the
it.
Choreo?
Mm-hmm.
Work.
Made it. I was like, if there's one thing I'm not going to mess up, it's the timing. Yep. So if I'm gonna kick and fall flat on my ass and have a bruise for the next week,
you're gonna get up.
You know that I'm gonna hit that next count.
You're gonna get up and you're gonna dance.
Yeah. So I got up, I hit it, and I finished the combo, and I got hired for the job for the little gig. Yeah. But it was like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm so great, but I think the bounce back had a lot to do. Because if I would have just laid there and been like, oh, I'm hurt.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You know, it'd be different if I, like, actually got hurt because I've been in another audition where someone blew their knee out.
Whoa.
You know, she couldn't get back up.
Yep.
Different story. But still, like, I think if it was just, like, I just slowly chilled and got up and just, like, brushed it off and walked off the floor, important. I wouldn't hire that person. I would have been like, you better not hire me.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. If you would have went down and you can't pick it back up, you can't see anyone to know where you're at for some reason, and you just keep going and you sell the shit out of it. You're still in consideration in my head, but I think some people like write it off completely and be like, "Nope, sorry, try again."
Why?
I don't know. Again, I'm not in the auditioning space, so I really don't know. But like, I think I'm using context of like horror stories and or just auditioning stories in general.
Yeah. But it also depends, like, what the vibe of the show is, too. Because, like, again, like you said earlier, Mystere is plug and play.
Yes,
If you...
Yes.
Like, but if you are in a show where you can't... If you mess up, you can't show that you mess up. Now, I mean, any show, you shouldn't really show that you mess up.
Sure.
But if it's very strict in its performing quality, I can understand being a little hesitant.
For sure.
But, like, where something Mad Apple is very fun, it's very, like, go, you know what I mean? Where you can, I don't want to say get away with it, but it can still integrate itself into the show.
Yeah.
Different.
Totally. That's a good point. Context is everything, I suppose.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk forever.
I know.
So
I like, don't want to stop.
I know. That's okay. I can at least just stop the recording. We can still chit-chat.
This is true. Sure.
If people want to follow you or stay updated with you, I will put your social media handles in the description.
My little at.
Your little at.
TYRESEPARKER. Tyrese Parker.
Yeah, that'll be in the description. All right.
I can't believe I just said that.
I'm so here for it. Okay. I love you.
I love you. Thank you so much for chit-chatting and just like I said earlier, having me in your space and wanting to talk with me. I think it's like super cool that you're doing this, and this is like a dream of mine to be able to do conversations like this, because you learn so much from it, and you as the host are learning from the person that you have on, but also I'm learning from the questions that you're asking, because some of these things I've never spoken about out loud. So then I'm learning all at the same time, and I just think it's like that exchange is priceless, and it's super fucking cool. And you are a gem of a human to facilitate conversation like this. It's really, 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 really appreciated. And I hope the Las Vegas community and further out from that to listen and hear the stories that you're bringing to the table to talk about. I think that's super valuable, and that you're doing a really good job as well.
Thank you.
Anytime. I can't wait to come back.
Hell yeah.
Love you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Before the Curtain. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever it is you listen to the podcast. We love to hear your virtual round of applause. If you know of a production or artist that deserves to have their story told, send us an email or message us on Instagram by clicking the link in the description.